Hey from Preikestolen
in Norway.
In this week's video we will tell you 8 things about Norway you probably haven't heard of. We are Julia and Sven with our dog Felix and currently traveling across the beautiful country of Norway. This journey is special because we are covering a very long distance in a rather short amount of time. That is why this time we're on the road with a rented camper van while our actual own vintage van is waiting for us in Italy. So without further ado, let's jump in and enjoy the ride. This is pretty much the last moment for us to refill because we are almost empty. We have 45 kilometers left and we drove around 850 kilometers with one filling. Keep in mind that those kilometers were on the German Autobahn, so we were allowed to drive very fast, and I guess we won't drive that fast in Norway because it's very twisty and curvy. Alright, so we are refilled again. This cost 110 euros. It's 70 liters diesel and I think it's actually very cheap compared to normal petrol.
These houses look so cute. Look at the roofs. Today we will go on the, I think, most famous and easiest hike we will do here in Norway. And we will go to Preikestolen, which is a very epic cliff. And from the amount of cars here in the parking lot, you can tell that it will be crowded. Of course, we cannot go hungry on the hike. That's why we decided to make a very quick meal. We're having some wraps. And this will bring us through the hike, hopefully.
I hope so. The hike shouldn't be too hard. One way should take around 2 hours, so I think we will be back here in a little more than 4 hours. For this hike you actually have the choice for your parking space / starting spot. There are 2 parking spaces. One is a little bit further away, but it's higher up, and the second one is closer to Preikestolen, but you have to walk up a hill for that, and as you might tell from my breathing.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. We had to because the other parking was already closed.
The hike basically just started and there is our parking lot, so we had to walk all the way up there. We're just walking for a few hundred meters. It's exhausting.
So far, most of the trail is like this. Just lots of stones in different sizes next to each other, which makes walking a bit difficult. Going up is not that difficult, but not falling is much harder. Felix just had a little fight with an Akita.
I think
the
Akita bit his tongue. There's a little spot. You see the hole on the tongue?
Okay, I think the hike to get here was not so much fun, also because it was very crowded, and I think it's not even the main season. I think it's more in July and August, but this view is insane. It's just so nice.
I mean, this looks spectacular, but if you just look to the other direction, it looks even more amazing. Just turn around and show it.
Preikestolen is just one of many hikes you can go on in Norway, and like everywhere in this beautiful country, there are no fences. Meaning if you slip, you could fall down a very, very high cliff. But before we went on all these beautiful hikes, I googled and found out that only a very small number of people actually died by falling down, even though hundreds of thousands of tourists go there every year. And the reason the Norwegians don't put any fences at these dangerous places is that they don't want to intervene in nature. They want to leave it as it is, as natural as possible, because there are also wild animals. But as long as you are careful, you will not fall down from a cliff. Especially during summer, it can get very very crowded in Norway because this is the most beautiful time to visit this country. So at some attractions there are lines of people waiting to take a picture, but we have a little tip for you how you can avoid this.
Both of our hikes we did here in Norway, we started late in the afternoon, so we arrived at the spots in the evening. And I think that's actually a pretty smart move because there aren't that many people around anymore because the parking spaces are already closed pretty early, like 10 or 11 in the evening. And most of the people come during the day, obviously, or early in the morning.
Yeah, but the sun sets very late, so you can also go in the evening.
Exactly.
We are back at the car, and for the way up, I think it took us 1 hour 45 minutes. For the way down, just 1 hour. We were so fast, but yeah, parking is 20 euros.
Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this week's video. Whenever we travel and we have to book hotel rooms, flights or rental cars, we try to save as much money as possible, and to do that we use the VPN from NordVPN. If you don't know what a VPN is, a VPN encrypts your network and it routes all the traffic to a different server anywhere in the world. Meaning, right now I'm sitting here in Germany, but by using a VPN, I could actually go online in Norway or in the US or in Italy or wherever I want. When you're booking a holiday, for example, ticket prices may vary a lot depending on the location where you are in the world or the time you want to book the tickets. To give you an example, companies use cookies on their websites and they may increase their prices for returning visitors. Or some companies assume that people from wealthier countries are able to pay more for certain tickets. So here's a price comparison with and without a VPN. Let's assume you're booking your family holiday 10 days in Italy. This is the price without a VPN booking from the US, and this is the price with the VPN located in Italy. You can save more than $500 by using a VPN for the exact same dates for the exact same holiday. You can get an exclusive 2-year deal by using our code, and if you're not satisfied with NordVPN, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. All the infos are also linked in the description below. And now let's jump back to Norway. This was our camping spot for last night, and it's actually a public parking space with lots of other different campers and some yachts and so on. And it's a perfect example for those parking lots with public toilets and also showers. So yesterday we had a warm shower. It was very nice. Our first stop today was the supermarket. We actually bought everything in Germany as best as we could, but we ran out of trash bags and kitchen paper.
For these two you paid?
For these two I paid 5 euros, and all in all we gotta say Norway is very expensive, so for basic stuff it is just double the price than, for example, in Germany. Another thing that is very expensive is alcohol. And it is also very weirdly controlled by the government, at least from a German perspective, because you cannot buy alcohol that is, I think, higher than 4.7% alcohol from a supermarket. And then you can only buy it until 8 p.m. weekdays and until 6 p.m. on Saturdays. So if you are like on a Saturday evening want to grab some beers from the supermarket, you just can't because they won't sell it anymore, even though the supermarket is still open. And yeah, like I said, it is very highly taxed, so it's extremely expensive. So we are quite happy that we brought our own stuff. Our next stop for the day is the petrol station. We said it in our last vlog. I've linked it up here. We have a petrol station here in Norway where we can get unlimited coffee with those mugs. So we bought these and now we can travel all across Norway and get coffee for free. And I think honestly this is my favorite fact of all, because I'm quite a coffee addict and we're driving so far distances, so that is so good for us. Oh, and by the way, obviously you can also have hot chocolate or tea or anything you want, and it is also possible at other petrol station chains. We just chose this one, the Circle K station, because it should be the most common petrol station in whole Norway. For me personally, it's kind of a weird feeling to just walk inside that petrol station, just cross the employees, go to this coffee station and fill up your coffee mug and just leave again, don't say any word, but everyone does it here and it is so nice, and I got used to it very quickly because it's so good to have free coffee.
We are taking a ferry to cross the fjord. This is a very common way to get from one place to another in Norway because the road just stops. Today will be a rather relaxed day on this trip because we won't go for a hike for the first time, but we will visit some other beautiful places along the way.
It's hard to believe that this is real. Looks incredible.
We just had a stopover at a very beautiful waterfall called Latefossen, and now we are off for another evening hike to get to a very picturesque lake. It's supposed to be short and easy, so let's go! Lake is called Bondhusvatnet, and by the way, another random fact is that Norwegians are considered to be one of the happiest nations in the world. Felix is seeing a dog, that's why he's looking like this. But they're so happy because in this country so many things are just perfect, like the education, the healthcare, the social safety net. And even though it's pretty dark during winter, the other conditions are very, very great here. Our camp spot for tonight is just too beautiful to be real. It's crazy. And also with the sun setting here, just right next to a fjord. I love it.
So beautiful. And did you know that there is the so-called everyman's right here in Norway and also in Sweden, and that means that you are allowed to sleep wherever you like, except for places where it's actually forbidden. They tell you so with some signs, and in some national parks that's the case, but in the rest of the country you can just park your car or build up your tent and sleep there.
So crazy. It's already 11 p.m. and the sun is disappearing behind the mountains. During summer here in Norway, it's so light, especially in northern Norway, the sun doesn't set at all. So even at 4 a.m. it will be daylight. Super crazy. We've experienced that before, and I'm so excited to see it again in a few days because we will travel all the way up north. But even here, it's very cool because you can basically go on all these hikes super late, and it's still light. And that's already it for this video. We hope you liked it. We will now make ourselves some hot dogs, hot dogs, hot dogs, hot dogs.
And tomorrow we'll go on another hike and it will be crazy long.
To Trolltunga!
Looking forward to that. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it, and like the video if you liked it.
Okay, see you then. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.